name is Sean Ware. Most of y'all know me as Shawnee. I call myself Made Aware because of Sean Ware, A-Ware. It's just like, y'all probably know me, the kid with the hair. I can tell you 5 things I think black people should know, right? Number 1, Africa is named after a white man. You want to talk about some white supremacy. Africa is named after a white man. I think his name is Cisco Africanus, Greek man, I believe, who conquered a little part of Africa. And you know, like the Greeks always do, they renamed ancient Kemet and called it Egypt. Now we call it Egypt. Africa's real name is, I believe, Alkebulan. That's pretty important when you're talking about, if you're talking about white supremacy, because that even goes back to our motherland and what we identify ourselves as. Number 2, you know, I gotta say one time, I gotta give it up for the ladies. Black females are the most powerful individuals in the world, especially in America. Y'all are the most educated group of people by race and gender. Black women, the most educated. Y'all know. Number 3, a lot of people don't know this. Coretta Scott King in 1999 sued the government, and she had the government. Yeah, the government was found guilty of conspiracy to kill Martin Luther King. She was kind of pissed off. She was like, "So y'all only gave me conspiracy? Nah, y'all killed my husband." We all know it. I mean, you could look back in a COINTELPRO, which I advise you read, which was by J. Edgar Hoover, who was the head of the CIA. He gave out this thing called COINTELPRO, which he gave to all the leaders across the country to prevent black nationalism. And in this document, he actually called the Black Panthers the greatest threat to internal security. And he listed 5 points. I'm not sure what all 5 points is, but he mentioned Martin Luther King's name directly. And number 5 of his points was prevent the rise of a black messiah, right? And you should look at the dates of that, of when that part was sent, and look at the dates as to when Martin Luther King was killed. 4, I'm actually going off of like the COINTELPRO and all of that, because the COINTELPRO was, I think, first introduced in 1957. But it's been going on long before that, man. I mean, if you look at Marcus Garvey UNIA program, I mean, he was 7 million strong of black people uniting, chilling, Pan-Africanism. We're going to identify ourselves as African, and we're going to help each other out. So this led to the advent of all black grocery stores, black people only shopping at these grocery stores, economic rights, political rights, spiritual rights. Marcus Garvey is noted as the prophet in Rasta, in the Rasta culture, right? He was actually deported back to Jamaica. He was deported back on mail fraud. Mail fraud. He organized the biggest black group in America known to date, and he gets deported back to Jamaica for mail fraud. Powers that be are crazy. Number 5, I think y'all should know, is prison is legal slavery. The 13th Amendment says no involuntary servitude or slavery unless as a form of punishment. So if you go to jail, you are a slave. They can make you do whatever you want. I mean, there has been a rise in private prisons. From 1980 to 2010, private prisons have rose 784% on the federal level. Do you know what's happening in these prisons? These people are working. They building your couches. They building your chairs. Man, listen. Now, when they talking about moving the jobs back to America from China and all that, and from South America, where do you think they're gonna go? They're going straight to the prisons where you could pay the prisoners 8 cents, 9 cents, 10 cents. At the end of the week, the prisoners be happy to buy themselves a pack of cigarettes and a pack of noodles. All right? I mean, we gotta wake up and smell the callaloo and sawfish. I mean, just on further things I think you guys should really get into. I think we should, especially if we're young and black, we should start reading up on like Booker T. Washington, who was a separationist. You know, he advocated blacks basically come together, be separate from white people, accept our political role, accept us as being less than. Sounds crazy, but I kind of understand his point. Accept us as being less than because we're less than right now. But we're going to use all of our skills that we have, and we're going to get this money. Because you know, with the money comes the power comes respect. So we're going to raise ourselves up. W.E.B. Du Bois, on the other hand, was, you know, the first black graduate from Harvard. He was like, nah, bro, you can't sacrifice your political rights because then these white people never going to respect you. So he was an integrationist, right? From what I've studied and from what I've learned, being segregated doesn't help us. I mean, you can look at the Tulsa, Oklahomas, the Hollywoods in California, just the prominent black communities. White people was mad. They like, how these niggas doing better than us? Nah, we gonna burn this down. We burning this down right now. So when we tried to build our own communities and we started to profit from it and they saw our potential, they burned us down. W.E.B. Du Bois, on the other hand, was an integrationist. He's like, all right, we gonna integrate into your community, right? But look at what's happening now. The more we integrate with these people, is the more afraid they are. I mean, you see, it's police brutality. I mean, if we keep integrating, there's no way they can keep this white supremacy. Actually, I take that back, because they're still going to keep that white supremacy. It's going to be harder for them, and they're getting scared. So read those two. I highly advise you to read Marcus Garvey. A lot of Americans don't know, but all my Jamaican people know about Marcus Garvey, Haile Selassie, until... If you listen to Bob Marley, you know quotes by Marcus Garvey, and you know quotes by Haile Selassie already. Go up into the history, Stokely Carmichael, Black Panthers, who were also Pan-African groups, Martin Luther King, of course. Listen to the man speak. Read the way the man writes. I mean, that man will get you emotional. Malcolm X. I think every person in America should read the autobiography of Malcolm X. People to follow now who you can Google on YouTube. You can Google like Dr. Umar Johnson, Brother Polite. These are prominent black guys who I look to as role models, actually. And just stay united, and we let. Let's get this money, and we're going to take it back to Africa, and we're going to build industry. But we can't go there with that materialistic, capitalistic mindset that we have, because we're just going to fuck them up. So we got to get ourselves right here first, then we're going back home. Because Way, y'all know Way. Way told me they got like 5 different types of mangoes in Mozambique. Yeah. I'm going to try all of them.